I am delighted to introduce the Chris Maene Straight Strung Grand. What is this? It's a very new instrument and built in Belgium. But hey, please allow me to introduce myself. This is me at the age of 3. I started, I was very cute, and today I still like it. But 25 years ago, these were my first baby steps on fortepianos with a 1792 Parada. And today I perform on my period instruments, yes, and I haul them in the truck and bring them to the hall. But I perform also on modern instruments with pleasure. I'm lecturing at Frankfurt Music University. So let's get serious. The traditional setup of a fortepiano is we have a straight strung scale. We get lengthwise wood fibers on the soundboard, and we have a single bridge. It's very close to a harpsichord. Please correct me if I tell stupid things, okay? Good, he looks so critical, but I know he knows very well, better than I do. So, here we have a traditional soundboard of a fortepiano, which has lengthwise running wood fibers, and sound energy runs across the soundboard grains, but it does not really want to spread sidewise. And this is a fact what the instruments builder and also the composers used, because they had vocal registers, soprano, alto, the tenor, the baritone, and the bass, for this simple reason, that the energy does not want to spread. And there are the planks, the wooden planks, which are glued at certain points, and this also helps to this effect. So basically, we have the instruments divided from F to F, from F to F, from F to F, in bass, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano. But basically, it's low, mid, and high. So in extremely nice instruments, you will find the real vocal registers, and sometimes you find this mix of low, mid, and high. But basically, the registers these are not homogeneous built instruments. And we see here on the 1850 clamps, lengthwise running wood fibers, still in the Romantic period. Well, the straight strung scale was introduced in 1859 by Steinway, and the straight strung scale is used in German-speaking countries until the 1870s. So, this is Mr. Liszt's room in Siena, Italy. Basically, he was in Rome, and his piano has been transferred to Siena in 1938. So a very interesting instrument. Who sneaks in? So it could be Mr. Liszt's great-grandson. It could be Mr. Mephisto himself. It could be Mrs. Wagner's great-grandson. It could be Mr. Barenboim. It could be Mr. Lang Lang. What do you think? Do you hear something? You have now 5 options. Mind selecting one? Barenboim. Do you want to make a phone call? Okay, let's see what happens. It's Mr. Barenboim, you are right. So he sneaks into this room where this instrument with the number 247 is located, and Mr. Liszt bought this instrument in Weimar. It has been brought to Rome and then to Siena. And this instrument has been restored by Mr. Valli in Ancona beautifully. Mr. Valli is a highly competent piano technician, very capable in period instruments and very capable in modern ones. So this is an experimental instrument because it has transverse running fibers. We find this also in players. The idea is to make it more singing, I suspect. But it has a fat back for a better bass bridge position. It means it has a fatter bass. Normally on a straight strung instrument, the bass, let me say, is very slim, is not potent, because the bridge is very close to the rim. So in this case, Bechstein built this fat back for a better resonance in the bass. So at least this instrument offers 3 registers, at least. And Mr. Barenboim is wowed. He did not have such an experience because he's a modern player, modern conductor. And the result is he needs a new piano. No, sorry, this was wrong. He knocks on Steinway's door. And you know, he is Mr. Barenboim. He is not you and me. He is Mr. Barenboim. He wants a straight strung grand with modern technologies. Steinway declines. Ouch. But then he insists. He knocks on this door. I say, well, I'm the Barenboim and I need such an instrument. Well, the idea of a straight strung grand in a modern body is not that new. But he has 2 winning cards. He is not only a big name, he is a brand like Steinway is. And his economical power, money is not an issue. So he takes, I will anticipate it, he takes 2 millions and lays down 2 millions for 2 instruments. We will see it immediately. So Steinway recommends Chris Maene in Belgium. Why? Chris starts building harpsichords at the age of 16. So he is quite in that business. But he has an enormous experience with period instruments, but he is a highly acknowledged authority on modern instruments too. And he is the biggest Steinway importer for Benelux. So he's a big player. And he builds for Steinway's 150th anniversary the replica of Opus 1. And Steinway says, probably this guy can do it. And Mr. Barenboim, this was official. I do not agree, he did not design this. He pushed the idea, I agree. But Barenboim designs radical new piano, I don't think so. He did not sit down and build it. So, this is Mr. Maene's Piano Museum in Ruiselede. And we have a very small extract of this. It is huge, believe me, it is huge, and this is very good. Hey, this is nice, what this guy does. And, well, he tries. He takes a Steinway body, but the standard grain direction of the soundboard is transverse, with a transverse stringing. And in the straight strung scale, we have straight running fibers. So, and in this case, because it is straight strung, the bridges have the same level, the bass bridge, and the bridge responsible for the mid and high section. Okay, treble strings are fixed singularly. Okay, Steinway does it not. So if you crack a string, it will still play. Okay, nice. But we have a mix generally in the modern instrument. So the piano technician tries to make it equal as possible. And what do we lose? We lose the quality of vocals registers. We don't have it anymore. And then we do not have the Kirnberger's free temperament or the other temperaments we tune equal. So a lot of character of the music we play, let me say 90% literature from Baroque to Romantic, is lost. The quality is lost. We have a louder instrument, it's more potent, I agree, but did we really gain? The reason is Mr. Liszt also said, well, he was not content with the cross-strung scale. He preferred to play straight-strung. So this is the idea that Maene builds the straight-strung grand with lengthwise stringing, lengthwise running wooden fibers, but he invented the soundboard split. See this on the design, right side we see high and there is a soundboard split. I will explain this in a few moments. So normally we have no registers but a long sustain in the melody section with a cross-strung scale. What most romantic players want. They want a singing tone and this mixture. Okay, but we lost the registers. So in the other case of the registers, we have, of course, because the fibers run also here lengthwise, we have registers, but we have a little bit shorter notes in the melody section, which is not so nice if you have to play long singing notes. So how to fix that problem? And they did build it, they tried it, and you see very good how the fibers run in this piano on the soundboard. And they run lengthwise, parallel until the last soprano section. And they were not very happy. Now they solved these problems, maintaining the lengthwise stringing, but take a small section with transverse wood fibers. And in my idea, maybe I'm wrong. I remember Erard experimenting something like this. But this is the base of the Maene concert grand, and it works. So this is a patented soundboard. It offers at least 3 registers. So remember, we got low, mid, and high, which is extremely helpful when you play music which is from the late 18th century, 19th century. It's very helpful. So, and in this manufacturing, he uses also another technology with the, can you help me with the expression, please? I forget the name of these babies.
Belly rail. Belly rail.
Belly grow?
You mean the vertebral?
No, this one.
Just the frame.
This is just a frame, wood frame. Okay, excuse me, I'm lost. So they use also a parallel wooden frame. Yes, not this how do you call this, star-like, what's today in modern piano construction. We see it from the other side. It's very nicely done. In my eyes, this is a beauty how they fixed that. This is a really beauty. This is a view in the factory, in the manufacturing. You see also this is a complete new instrument upcoming, also straight strung, but with a more ergonomical keyboard. But this is absolutely new. And he does it with a wooden counterpart, very traditional. You see also the iron frame will be lengthwise. So all strings are running lengthwise in this instrument in order to support the registers. It's a foundry. This is hot work. Yeah, but they do their own frames. And it's still a long way to be so nice because they just put it into the body and try to make the first fixes. And then it looks, after a long procedure, and it looks very impressive. I don't think that the pictures can express the finish. It's like, do you know Bentley cars? That's it. It's such a finish. So it has brass-wrapped bass strings. We remember this from old times. It's no copper. And we have other dimensions. This is very nice. A traditional modern keyboard has a distance from C to C outside of 19 centimeters exactly. This is our octave is 19. In a period instrument until, let me say, 1825, we have 18 or 17.5, 17.8 in the octave, much smaller, which explains a lot of Beethoven legato, of Chopin, young Chopin legato, and so on. It's clear because the octave is C and B, not C and C in our modern times. And look what Mr. Maene does. He takes an octave measure of 17.8 with all features of the modern piano action, but believe me, it works so nice. It works so nice. So we have here a standard action, very similar to Steinway, also with the wooden tubes here, but it's in one level and the keyboard size differs, I think, 7.5 centimeters in total. So very nice. And a lot of things become doable. Normally you have to do workarounds to take it over, to lose sostenuto pedal, whatever. And now it works. It just, you sit down, it's plug and play. And the action is fantastic. So we are back to Maene's manufacture. This is now the body press, the rim press. In the beginning they got ready bodies delivered by Steinway, now they do it themselves in the very traditional way, as it is also done at Steinway's. And we see the layers, the wooden layers of the rim. So this is modern piano manufacturing at its best. Good. Old school, no CNC machines on the bridge, all by hand. Very nice. Drilling of the
Bridge pin.
Thank you. You're a friend. Bridge pins. No CNC stuff and no pumping in, as it's done in modern piano factories. And this is very good. Why? Because if it's shot in with pressure, sometimes they do not go to the bottom. And then you have notes which do and then you have to hit them down. So, and this is manually done. This is very nice. And the soundboard is hand polished. There is no artificial lacquer. So this is also very traditional. So this is Mr. Maene, meet Mr. Chris Maene, the boss himself. And what's also nice is we have adjustable resonator box. So in the front of the instrument there is a capodastro. There is located a so-called duplex scale. It's a little piece of vibrating string, and this string vibrates in sympathy in the octave. And this should be normally the fifth. It is often said that this is a duplex scale. This is wrong. This is a resonator, and in front of the capodastro is the duplex scale. Nice, you can adjust them and you can tune them so that you have the real thing. You need the fifth. Why? Very easy. It's you find it also in clavichord building, Adelung, that they have resonating strings, and this is also an idea, but it's basically on a theory of Giuseppe Tartini from 1648 of the third tone. Means if you have a octave and you put a fifth inside, you will generate the lower note. The lower note, the lower octave has the first harmonic, which is the main one, and it will resonate by sympathy. That's the idea of the duplex scaling. Okay. So the logo of Maene, which the three, yeah, with the long ears, it's the composer, the pianist, and the piano builder. So this is our baby. Well, Mr. Barnboim recorded. Yeah, I have fun with this. On my new piano, okay. I think the really nice recording on that is the Scarlatti. This is really good, and you hear really the registers of the instrument. And I played this instrument, and believe me, these are more than 3 registers. At least 4, in my ears, there are 5. And it's real fun playing because it combines the advantage of a fortepiano with a modern instrument. It is powerful, but very singing. You can punch it, but you do not need to such an instrument to punch it. It's stupid. And it is very nice with orchestra. You hear it over the whole, it's really good. And hey, it plays really good. So it's a good combination where modern technology and tradition blends perfectly. So I play a lot of fortepianos and I play a lot of modern ones. And the first time I played this instrument, I said, well, this is not bad. So I was very happy with this. Okay, this is automatic. No, don't worry. All good, all good. So I think we have 5 minutes left. So if you like, we can do some Q&A. Questions?
What about the ribbon? What about the ribbon ground with straight string?
I could have shown this, and I was too dense to put the picture in. It's crossing. It's crossing. They are very small, very light, much lighter than they are today, and more shaped. The edges are more slim.
Tapering.
Sorry?
Tapering?
Yeah. So, this is about the ribs.
No.
He means written piano builder.
A Dutch piano builder started in 1951.
A Rippen. Do you know, because in German, these are Rippen.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so excuse me, you're talking about the piano builder Rippen.
Ribbon with this straight strung aluminium framed.
Yeah, but I think this was, let me say, an island solution, because the piano itself, I remember, I had it years ago under my hands. It was not so nice. So, in my eyes, the idea is good, but the procedure perhaps could have been better. Sorry for this message. Thank you for your help.
How many pianos of this kind have been already produced?
So, Mr. Barnboim took 2. They got a new soundboard, so the new patented soundboard. And there are a lot of requests. I think he sold a few. He won't tell me numbers.
And what capacity does Maene have to produce more instruments, and
Well,
how long does it take?
it takes a while, believe me. I think they are running about a year. And so it's manufacturing, it's not a factory.
Yeah,
So the capacity is low, and they will keep it low because the price is so high.
right.
It's at the moment the most exclusive piano you can get on the market.
Yeah.
It has a better finish than Fazioli. I'm sorry to say this.
Yeah.
And, well, it's really good. It's a Bentley.
Yes, I see.
How are the reviews of the public, the reviewers?
Well, the reviews are quite enthusiastic, although the critics, as I read it, they have no idea about fortepianos. So, well, I wrote on about this piano in Piano News Germany, which is the magazine for all German-speaking countries. And I tried to be very neutral, not enthusiastic, not critical, just describe it, do it. So I did not review it, I just described it. But generally the reactions are extremely nice. And this is my, I remember me playing at Berlin Philharmonic on a modern concert grant, on a Chopin recital, and we put it on Kirnberger 3. We did not tell anybody. But even the modern piano sounded so good that the people were asking, oh, what is this, a piano? It sounds so beautiful. It's mine, okay. Did not tell anybody that it was on Kirnberger 3. Imagine if you put this on Kirnberger 3. This is mind-blowing. Yeah. Yeah, because it changes like a chameleon in the keys. You can really obtain the character of the keys. It's that what you want. That's the reason why Mr. Chopin writes his first etude in Opus 25 in A flat major, not in A minor, in A major. Or Schubert writes an Emperor T in A flat major, not in A minor. Okay? So, thanks for having me.